Welcome to the Aging Adventure on KFOR, brought to you by the caring professionals at Legacy Retirement Communities with 4 state-of-the-art facilities in Lincoln: the Legacy, Legacy Terrace, Legacy Estates, and Legacy Arbors. I'm Dale Johnson, joined by John Kopetsky of Legacy Terrace and longtime friend of Lincoln Seniors, Kathy Blythe. Good morning, John. Good morning, Kathy.
Hi, Dale.
Good morning, Dale.
Veterans Day is Thursday, and our theme today reflects that. Trent Breci is Chief of Eligibility and Enrollment at the VHA Nebraska Western Iowa Healthcare System. He will join us to offer an understanding of veterans' health benefits. That's coming up on the Aging Adventure. After James Bussa, Lincoln VA Clinic Site Manager, discusses with John and Kathy what the new VA clinic means for Lincoln.
James, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And I know you're a veteran, and I first of all want to lead off by saying thank you for your service to our country and your service to our veterans post-military.
Thank you, sir.
The VA clinic, obviously a Lincoln landmark for 90 plus years out near 70th and O Street, and been a lot of activity on the campus the last few years, and there's that beautiful new clinic. Tell us about how all of that came to be, how long the new clinic has been open, what changes are all in store there for our veterans.
To start telling you about the new, got to talk a little bit about the old. You know, the original Lincoln CBOC site was around 90 plus years old, like you stated. It was open around 1929. So it consisted of about 250,000 usable square feet for staff and veterans. Under the modernization of the VA, which is underway, all the new builds for community-based outpatient clinics, or CBOCs, like we're considered here in Lincoln, are following the PACT model, the Patient Aligned Care Team model, which affects the design of our local building here. The neat part is the benefits to all of that are many. So basically, if you know where the old clinic is, you know where the new is. The old clinic sat on 60 acres of land, and the new one sits on 5 acres, which the VA leases. The key difference in the model is we are now a leased facility. The VA leases it from a developer who built the clinic for us. Right now, we're working with about 72,000 net square feet. So you can kind of see the difference going from 250,000 to 72,000. What it brings to the Lincoln area, again, this is part of the VA modernization effort. The new facility also drastically improves our patient flow and the wayfinding ability for patients as far as getting around. We make it much easier to go from door to appointment to car than it was in the old facility. So it's very streamlined and modern.
James, when you're referencing CBOC, tell us what that stands for.
Sure. Community-based outpatient clinic.
Toward the end, I mean, in the last 10 or 20 years, much of the old hospital building there on the VA campus really wasn't being used. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We were probably using 20% of the original building.
My dad was a veteran and received excellent care at the VA Medical Center here for many, many years. And I got familiar with the outpatient clinic, which was actually added on to the back side of the building. There was where the clinic entrance was.
Yeah, that was the main hub of activity for sure.
How has your staff adapted from going to the old to the new?
That's a great question. You know, I liken it to buying a new house. You know, as you move in and get situated, you figure out where things work better than where you originally had them. And then you kind of grow into the space and then normalize your space. So it has been an adjustment for staff and veterans alike initially, going from, again, almost 300,000 square feet to 72,000. The good news is everybody seems to be enjoying the new clinic, veterans alike, as far as all the comments we've received about the new facility, and staff as well. And again, all of this as the change, which is hard for everybody, I think, in initially as the change becomes normal, I think folks are beginning to realize the advantage to the new building, such as wayfinding and getting around and quicker access to your appointment.
If hospitalization is needed, I know you're able to handle so much here in Lincoln now, which is wonderful. If hospitalization is needed, then do they go to Omaha?
Well, it depends. Normally it's a 911 call.
James, from what I've seen and heard about the new VA clinic, it seems to me that it might be one of the very finest in the entire country. Would you say that that's accurate?
I emphatically say that's accurate. We provide state-of-the-art patient care for our veterans, and go Team Lincoln.
Go Team Lincoln. Well, I know as we move ahead here on the program, we'll be getting more details from you about just what all the great features are at the new VA clinic. We'll hear more about some benefits too a little bit later as we salute veterans today on the Aging Adventure, brought to you by the Legacy Retirement Communities. We'll be right back.
We are back with the Aging Adventure, brought to you by Legacy Retirement Communities. I'm Dale Johnson. Our veteran-focused conversation this morning is with James Bussa, Lincoln VA Clinic Site Manager.
James, the new clinic, obviously state-of-the-art, one of the finest in the country, if not the finest. Are there services that you're able to offer now that you weren't before, or is it just that you're able to provide the services in a better fashion?
Pretty much providing the same services, but in a much better fashion when it comes to things we've already covered, like accessibility. Some of the services, to name a few, we offer standard primary care, your family doc coming in for your checkups, dermatology, audiology, optometry, infusion, dental, prosthetics, physical therapy, radiology, respiratory therapy, telemedicine, mental health services, and a multi-service line of those, full service pharmacy, lab services. We have a robust voluntary services, which help support our veterans daily as well. We patient advocates. So basically we're full up.
So it's not just residents from Lincoln and Lancaster County or veterans from Lincoln and Lancaster County receiving services there, correct?
No, not just. They come from everybody within our service area. Some coming from outside Lancaster County as well, and Lincoln.
Have you added some new services for women that you didn't have before?
Yes, we expanded on women's health in a fashion that they're embedded with the primary care teams, so that it's accessible for our female veterans.
How have the veterans been responding to everything that's new?
Again, in the beginning, it was a little bit of a culture shock as far as getting around, but as we've been open since the 1st of March, so approaching the year mark here, we're finding that the comments are getting much, much better. They've always been great about the facility itself and how it looks and the ease of getting around the place. So
we're, of course, in what seems like toward the end of year 2 of the COVID situation. And I know getting vaccines and getting booster shots and also flu shots, this is the time of the year for that as well. Can you tell us about what level of services are available for our veterans there in regards to those shots?
Sure. Flu shot, you can request that at any regular appointment that you have scheduled with us if through your provider. But for COVID shots, we offer COVID clinics. We did a COVID clinic last Saturday where we provided 650 booster shots to our veterans. We're also offering a clinic this Saturday, and then future clinics to be announced. And all of that should be advertised on the NWI or Lincoln Facebook page.
James, before time runs out, let us know if there's anything else we should know about your new facility.
Well, yeah, thank you for the question. We are full service back to face-to-face. COVID slowed us down a little bit as far as face-to-face appointments. We are now back up to full capacity, seeing, our regular number of patients that we were pre-COVID. One of the things, though, that needs to be mentioned is the VA has instituted, and I'm pretty sure most of the civilian sector through OSHA, a mandatory surgical mask policy. It is required to wear a surgical mask, not a cloth one, or even if you have a surgical one coming in to our facility wearing one, we're going to ask you to change it. And the reason for that is our policy is we have to give you a brand new mask every visit. And that ensures our veteran safety and our staff safety. And so you'll be given one fresh for the low price of free right at the front door as you're coming in.
And you also offer some telemedicine?
I think one of the biggest changes we've seen evolve so far is offering a larger variety and venue of telemedicine, and to include phone. It doesn't just stop with video, but we've found that the usefulness of it during COVID, and I think it will be continuing in the past in a higher percentage of use.
James, talk a little bit about the veterans that are coming in for care. You may have some World War II era veterans still coming in for services, Korea, Vietnam, and post-Vietnam. Are there differences in the services they're needing?
I think the services are pretty much the same regardless of the patient. It just depends on the person. But the services we provide here at Team Lincoln cover all of their needs. And if not, we make sure they're able to get to where they can get their needs taken care of. The biggest difference, again, I think, is telemed, where we can actually do your appointment from a station in a VA from anywhere, and you can still meet with your provider and get prescriptions, diagnoses, those kind of things. When applicable. You can't do it for all appointments, obviously, but when possible, that's where we're moving toward.
Well, congratulations to you on the new VA clinic in Lincoln. It just looks spectacular, and thank you for taking such good care of our veterans. James Bussa, it was wonderful to meet you today.
Thank you very much to everybody. It's my pleasure, and we appreciate you having us.
When we continue, understanding veterans' health benefits. When the Aging Adventure continues, brought to you by Legacy Retirement Communities. Our conversation this morning on the Aging Adventure, brought to you by Legacy Retirement Communities, focuses on benefits for veterans. Thursday is Veterans Day. Trent Breci is the Chief of Eligibility and Enrollment at the VHA Nebraska Western Iowa Healthcare System, and he helps you understand veterans' health benefits this morning.
Good morning to you, Trent. So nice to have you with us.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
The very first thing we want to mention is that you served our country proudly in the Navy, and we want to thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm glad you've been able to keep your passion for the Veterans Administration going, using that as your life's work now, and understanding and helping us understand veterans' benefits. Would you say there are a lot of veterans who don't realize the scope of their benefits?
Yes, absolutely. There are so many different types of eligibility factors that can make a veteran eligible. So, we always recommend that if there's questions, concerns, that they reach out to us so that we can, assist them and kind of further guide them along the path.
So you serve veterans of all ages at the VA. Some of the very older veterans to some recently discharged veterans. What should younger veterans be thinking, or why should they be thinking about this right now?
Yeah, I believe that all veterans should attempt to enroll regardless of age, and that's because the eligibility requirements can change on a national level at any time. And so those who, may not qualify now could certainly be eligible later on. Veterans, who are just getting out of the service and who have combat time automatically qualify for VA healthcare for up to 5 years from the date they got out. So therefore, it's really particularly important not to wait, but to come in once they get out of service so that we can get them the help they need.
Trent, is it a complicated question to ask you to highlight some of the veterans' benefits, the specific ones?
Not really too difficult of a question, but like I said, there's lots of special eligibility along with just basic eligibility. I'd really point veterans towards going online to see all of those specifics, because we would be here for quite a long time as I gave you a lot of the specifics on it. But essentially, if you served active duty, or even if National Guard, Reserve, come on in. Let's see what you're eligible for, and then we can go from there.
And as we post this show on social media, the Legacy Retirement Communities will make sure that we have a link to get more information about the specific services and whom they can contact and how to do all of that. So we'll make sure that that information is available. How does a veteran enroll for VA healthcare, and where do they go to do that?
Great question. So they can enroll in person by going to the local VA clinic or medical center. They can enroll by phone by contacting the Health Eligibility Center, and that number is 877-222-VETS or 8387. They can enroll through the paper form, which is called a 1010 EZ, if that's something you want to Google and print off. Or they can go online and check it out at www.va.gov, and they can navigate through the healthcare side of it to sign up through that. But if anybody has any questions, concerns, they can always contact our local department directly, and they can get some further assistance and guidance on where and how we can assist them. And that number is 402-995-4050.
How does a veteran obtain a veteran health identification card? Is that pretty easy?
Yes, and great question. Once enrolled for VA healthcare, veterans can apply for the Veteran Health ID card by coming in with a government or state ID, so example, passport or driver's license, and that is needed so that we can verify their identification. They can come into any of the medical center or VA clinics in our VA Nebraska Western healthcare system, and we'd be able to get them their photo taken and request for their photo ID. It usually takes about 2 weeks for them to receive that in the mail.
Trent, I again just want to say thank you for your service in the Navy, serving our country that way and serving our veterans. As the son of a veteran, I know firsthand the excellent service, the excellent care that our veterans have received in Lincoln for many, many years. And I know with the new clinic, you are going to be doing that for many, many more years to come. So thank you again to you and the whole team Lincoln for all that you do for our veterans.
Thank you for a chance to come on and speak to veterans in our community. I really appreciate it.
Can you let us know how people can get more information, how veterans can?
They could contact us locally at that 402-995-4050, or they can contact us through the Health Eligibility Center, which is a national call center, and they can contact them at 877-222-VETS, VETS, 8387 is the numbers for that.
Thank you so much for the excellent information you gave us today, Trent. We put a lot out there, and I'm sure it was hard for everybody to write everything down. So we want people to know they can get the particulars and a link at the Facebook page of the Legacy Retirement Communities.
Trent, thank you very much, and thanks to all the men and women who have served in the military. Enjoy the honors you deserve, including the Downtown Veterans Parade on Sunday, starting at 21st and K. John, how can listeners reach out to you at the Legacy?
402-464-5700, or check out our website, legacyretirement.com.
Kathy, thank you too for being here. We'll talk next week. Join us every Saturday morning for the Aging Adventure, brought to you by Legacy Communities. I'm Dale Johnson.